Third-year collision repair student Jared Hill has always liked the challenge of repairing and painting vehicles.
I enjoyed coming in here and getting my hands dirty.
He's also enjoyed the challenge of the competition. In each of the last 2 years, he's finished as runner-up in the Skills State USA competition. This school year, he's hoping for first. In August, as students were settling into the school year, TASD employee Miss Courtney Blair was breaking ground on her new home.
I never thought that I would be, building my own home.
In mid-October, creative writing teacher Chad Matthews released his film titled Home.
The more I met people, the more fascinated I became by them.
Those stories next on this episode of On Our Campus.
From the studios of Razorback Television, covering the stories and the people of Arkansas High School. This is On Our Campus. Now, here's your host, Mason May.
Hello everybody, I'm Mason May. This is On Our Campus. Now in his third year in the program, Jared Hill is on a mission to become a Skills USA champion. The well-known national organization helps create a skilled workforce through clubs and competition. Jared has finished as the runner-up in the state of Arkansas each of the last 2 years in his specialty of automotive and refinishing repair. With the story, here's Hank Harrelson. How'd you know collision repair is what you wanted to go after?
Because I was good at it.
2 years in competition and 2 second-place finishes has Jared Hill striving for first this year. His passion for collision repair goes back to when he was a child.
What drove you to take this class?
I just always wanted to do this. My dad got me into it whenever I was little.
Tell me about that. Tell me about your dad and how he got you into it.
He's a mechanic, and he kind of does that on the side, and we got a shop at the house, so he gets like antique cars, and we just work on them.
To this day, Jared's passion for collision repair continues to grow.
I enjoy coming in here and getting my hands dirty. I love customizing it. I love that aspect, and I like repairing and making it new again.
From a shop at the house to the shop at the school, Jared now gets more experience thanks to collision repair teacher Mr. Bennett.
Oh, he's taught me how to paint, how to prep, how to fix a dent from step 1 to the final step, how to apply all kinds of different applications like bed liner, dolphin glaze, body filler, all that.
With the help of his dad and Mr. Bennett, Jared is learning more every day, but he still finds challenges in some aspects of collision repair.
What challenges do you face in collision repair?
What's hard for me is wet sanding. That's what I don't. Wet sanding is like after you prime it, right before you paint it, you have to sand it down for the paint to stick to it.
In 2017, Jared finished runner-up to his classmate Cortland Adcock, and last year he also finished runner-up. After the first-place winner had a conflict and couldn't attend nationals, Jared got to go in his place, fueling his fire for his run this year.
Man, whenever I got second, I was hoping for first, and then second popped up, and I was like, but, I still got second at least. That forced me to work harder the next year and just keep trying.
Through the partnership of Habitat for Humanity, work began soon after the August 24th groundbreaking ceremony at the intersection of East 12th and Arkansas on Miss Courtney Blair's new home. The organization has served the Texarkana area for nearly 30 years. However, this is the first time a Habitat for Humanity home has been built on the Arkansas side of Texarkana. RTV's Cameron Lumpkin with more.
Courtney Blair is going on her 4th year working for the Texarkana, Arkansas School District. In March of this year, while students were thinking about spring break, she was filling out paperwork for Habitat for Humanity in hopes of getting a new home.
My mom has always been on me about this program, and this is a good way to get you and the kids your own home, and so I just finally got an application. I filled it out.
Miss Blair was approved over the summer leading to a historical groundbreaking ceremony in August. In 30 years of serving the Texarkana area, Habitat for Humanity has never built a house on the Arkansas side of the city, but now they have.
At first, I was just like, okay, it's just a house being built. But as I've gone through and actually see all these different articles, different interviews and stuff that I've done, it's just like, so this is really a big deal. So I guess I'm kind of a big deal, I guess.
Soon after the ceremony, workers began volunteering each Saturday. Staff members from TASD and Arkansas High Nike students, along with many other groups, helped out along the way.
How thankful are you for these people?
Very thankful, because a majority of it was on the volunteers. Yeah, we have contractors and the paid workers, but majority of it was the volunteers.
Miss Blair had to do 100 volunteer hours before the building process started, and 100 hours during the build. Those hours included being on site every Saturday to help with her own home.
I never thought that I would be, building my own home, and it was a good feeling.
The dedication date on Miss Blair's new home was originally set for December 7th, but there is still work to be done, thanks to a few delays courtesy of Mother Nature.
What setbacks did you experience during this journey?
Oh, the good old weather, but I know everything will work itself out. But as far as the weather and kind of just making sure everything gets back on track is the main thing.
Miss Blair hopes to be in her new home by Christmas.
I'm ready to get into my home.
Hey, let's check out this park. Oh, wow, that's really cool. To find a great local park or forest near you, go to discovertheforest.org.
In our final story, we introduce you to creative writing and English teacher Chad Matthews. Prior to his arrival at Arkansas High in January of this year, Mr. Matthews spent the better part of the last decade documenting the stories of some of the most underprivileged and overlooked people in our nation. He prefers the term storyteller over writer or filmmaker, and in our final segment of 2018, RTV's Rachel Wise tells his story.
Can you remember the first film you made?
Yes, it was me and a group of guys tackling each other. It had no point. It was just, we were supposed to be doing an announcement video. We would tackle each other, and then we would put text up about what the announcement was. So that was the first. I'm not even sure you would call that a film.
As Mr. Matthews continued to make announcement videos for the church, his work began to evolve into storytelling. And in 2008 in Shreveport, Louisiana, he had a moment that changed everything.
I was on a date. It was my first date with this girl. We saw a homeless woman come out from beneath the bridge, and I was trying to get my date into the car, but the woman caught up with us. I had all these preconceived ideas about what homelessness looked like, what these kind of people looked like. And so the woman was named Evelyn, and she was this beautiful old woman. And so this encounter shattered my perception of people on the street or people just unlike me.
In his 2011 memoir, Dear Evelyn, Matthews said his heart was in a perpetual state of brokenness for the homeless men and women trying to survive on the streets of this country. So, 6 months after that encounter, he joined them.
I quit my job, sold my house, and just kind of committed to traveling and meeting other people like Evelyn and capturing their stories and kind of figuring out where they're from and what they're about.
The journey on the streets was an on-again, off-again, 8-year adventure traveling by foot, car, and even trains.
Why were you on the road that long?
The more I met people, the more fascinated I became by them. And it started off about making films, but then it became about loving these people and spending time with them and trying to encourage them.
The longer he stayed on the street, the more comfortable he became approaching anyone who appeared to be in need. And the more he was out there, the more he fit in.
I would eat at shelters. I would eat at soup kitchens. I don't think people were able to differentiate me from somebody on the street. My hair was like down to here, and I looked pretty bedraggled, and so, yeah.
Were you shocked by what you saw out there?
I was in the beginning, yeah. And the most shocking part was that the largest population of homelessness in America is kids.
Mr. Matthews has traveled to the 60 largest cities in the U.S. Originally from Texarkana, now that Mr. Matthews is home more, he spends time getting to know the people on the streets right here in our town.
They live in the woods in Texarkana. In a big city, obviously, you'll have back alleys, under bridges, that sort of thing. Texarkana has probably 250 people in the woods, just like kind of we're sitting at now.
Mr. Matthews has formed countless relationships with those less fortunate, and he hopes he can inspire others to take a second look when they see someone in need.
I think my hope is that people will watch the films, or sometimes I write books, and that they will feel moved, that they'll see people differently, and that somehow that'll translate to them investing their time and energy or whatever their passion is and trying to create some sort of change. I don't think we don't have to build houses. It could be just as simple as bringing a sack lunch to somebody and saying, hey, let's have a meal together. Mother Teresa said that loneliness is the greatest poverty. So I always remember that, like, the lonely people, that's the greatest need they have is each other.